Beijing, the capital city with over 3,000 years of history, is one of the world's most iconic cities. But it has been on a bit of a roller coaster ride over the last 40 years. In 1978, Deng Xiaoping initiated a series of reforms, both social and economic, that after many years of isolation would thrust China into the global sphere once more.
人太保守了，那会儿就单一的思想嘛，就是我想干什么干不了。
也就在90年左右的时候阶段，我们真的是很困惑，就是不知道这个京剧这种古老的传统剧目应该走向哪里。
其实年轻人不会拒绝传统文化、传统艺术，他想要的是一种新鲜的体验的。
Beijing is a name that conjures up images of the Great Wall, Tiananmen Square, and the Forbidden City, monuments to China's historic strength. It would be fair to say that this emphasis on looking backwards could not contrast more heavily than with the forward-thinking attitude of Shenzhen. By the mid-1990s, China had been flirting with the principles of free trade in cities such as Shenzhen and Shanghai for a couple of decades, and business was booming. But life could not have been more different on the tight streets of the Beijing hutong. Peking opera stalwart Song Yan remembers this time all too well.
那么我记得我刚入团不久的时候啊，这个连超市还没有呢。我们到去外国演出，觉得哎呀，超市都很新鲜。也就在90年左右的时候，那个时代呢，等于是因为刚改革开放嘛，阶段我们真的是很困惑，就是不知道这个京剧这种古老的传统剧目应该走向哪里。那么只是给一些外国人演一些简短的戏曲。那么当时我记得我们演员的工资也很少，当时演员呢有很多的都改行了。我因为是从2000年开始担当这个剧团的团长的。那么那个时候呢，应该说在90年代末这一段时间是比较困难的。所以我呢，就是带领大家呢，搞了一些旅游性质的演出，结合市场。
It could be argued that the popularity of Peking opera is representative of Beijing's cultural scene as a whole. Song Yan was in many ways one of Beijing's luckier residents, as his work allowed him to experience life outside of Beijing. But what about the hutong's other residents?
人太保守了，那会儿就单一的思想嘛，就是我想干什么干不了，就必须得头说了算。那会儿我在郊区那工作嘛，我想调城里都联系好单位了，单位领导就是不放。
In the 1990s, China was rapidly advancing into a new age. Cities such as Shenzhen were building skyscrapers out of swamp. And while Beijing was not exactly moving at the same pace as its southern counterpart, it still ran the risk of losing the very thing that made it so rich in the first place, its cultural identity.
那个时候我回忆呢，其实我也有过萌生过，就是到别处去闯一闯的感觉。但是说实话，从情感上真的是离不开这行。就是当我看到我们演出一场大戏的时候，底下的座不足50%的时候。 而且我们所有的我看的座大概有80%以上全是白发苍苍的老人，那个时候我心里边确实是有瞬间的感觉，会不会京剧从此就成为一个古玩？
北京老城区里边呢，禁止建实体店。
If you fly into Beijing today and take a stroll through the city's narrow alleys, you might come across some unexpected sights. Tour guides can be seen leading foreigners from monuments to hole-in-the-wall restaurants, and they're proud to show off their history, a sight unimaginable before the economic reforms of 1978.
我是92年开始做这行，1992年。然后呢，那个时候是海外华侨、海外游客来的要多过国内客很多。现在恰恰相反是什么呢？中国客是海外人的很多倍就对了啊，所以呢不一样。 你知道吗？反正他们呢，对于中国人讲，好像呢中国这块地方还是一块处女地，很原始的地方。可是他们真正到来以后，看到中国的发展真的跟以前不一样，所以呢，现在中国的发展真的是很快。
But what is it that attracts the hordes of tourists to Beijing in the first place?
Today, I think the first one that is the love Chinese culture, because China as a country which has a long history, very attractive, especially Beijing. So come here to see how wonderful it is, because they cannot imagine long time ago Ming and Qing dynasty emperor where they live.
他们到这边来就是要了解你在地的当地的这个土文化是什么样，你这胡同文化，老百姓怎么生活，然后呢，具体当地人呢吃的住的，他们呢是怎么样在这个环境里边呢来生活的。
You can see lots of movies, you can see lots of pictures, but unless you are exactly here, you cannot realize the beauty and such a huge place.
It seems that Beijing and China as a whole is falling back in love with the culture it so nearly lost, but it is important that it keeps these traditions alive. In modern China, the younger generation has the weight of expectation of the entire nation on their shoulders. Song Yan believes that it is vital that the older generation pass on their knowledge to the youth before it is too late.
原来唱京剧80%以上全是50岁往上的老人，那么我们现在演这个京剧也好，演话剧也好，特别是我们这部表现京剧故事的话剧，90%全是80后、90后，特别的年轻，所以我们也达到了我们的目的。应该去研究研究，怎么能够像跟天硕这样的青年人能够拉近。所以我们这次做这话剧，实际上就是一个，我就是传统的，他就是现代的，我们父子俩的结合，实际就是我们现在戏曲、传统戏曲和现代的文化的结合。我觉得，当然这个可能说的比较片面一点，实际就是做了一个尝试。
而且我又知道，其实我父亲的排练的习惯也好，或者什么，所以我很聪明的想了一个办法。之前问他，就是说。我们一旦遇到冲突，就是尤其在创作上遇到冲突，我们谁说了算？我爸当时，
我说了，我说你说了算，对不对？这有什么话剧嘛？导演负责制，你说了算。结果他不相信，
我一点都不信，你知道吗？这一点都不信，因为我见过他排戏的样子，所以我就写了一个声明，然后我需要您来签字，你把这个签了，就是我们一旦有，上面就写的是我们一旦有冲突，到底听谁的，谁说了算。
真正的是，确实他还是挺有这方面的经验的。事实证明，听他的都对了。
Interestingly, the younger generation is not merely content to preserve their forefathers' customs and traditions, but rather evolve them to ensure they stay relevant in the modern age.
除了舞台，我们希望能够再往前走一步，就是做一些沉浸式的戏剧，有点像环境戏剧，怎么说？吸收了很多像沉浸式戏剧啊，包括像现在的密室逃脱，就是都是让现在的年轻人最重要的是什么？是体验感。其实年轻人不会拒绝传统文化、传统艺术，他想要的是一种新鲜的体验感。所以我们现在一直在想找一个老的戏楼，我们去编这种故事。
Plays such as Wang Zi prove that a new generation is emerging that is both proud to be Chinese and is happy to embrace their history and the rest of the world. It is not just Chinese artists that are being influenced by the traditional arts. The thriving cultural scene that has developed over the last 40 years is also attracting a fair amount of foreign interest. The Little Poems community is an artist commune situated in a village outside of Beijing. its residents are covering the entire village in stunning murals.
I actually had no intention of ever really coming to China. It wasn't until I met a friend, another artist who had recommended doing a residency in China. So I kind of just came on a whim, like not really knowing a lot, didn't really do much research, just kind of showed up. And I'm glad I did it that way. So I didn't really have a lot of like preconceived notions. And I was kind of curious like what the future would look like.
Perhaps the most surprising thing is the reaction of the local residents.
So in the beginning, I think they didn't really know what I'm going to do. And then the last days, many people came here and many people stopped, even if they were driving in the car. They stopped and they made like, wow, this is good.
It may seem like fun and games, but the art has a more serious purpose as it offers an opportunity for the village youngsters to experience life outside their norm.
In this village, you can see a lot of art from different countries. So that's the most beautiful part. Also the benefits for the village kids, because they cannot afford it to go to the bilingual school, but they have the same rights that they can enjoy the international art education in this village. It's totally free. So I think that's the biggest contribution we created and we contributed.
There is no doubt that Beijing, much like its southern counterpart Shenzhen, has come a long way over the last few decades. 40 years is merely half a lifetime, but it is plenty of time for a country such as China to redefine its global and cultural identity. There have been challenges, but these were an integral part of the journey to the place where China stands today.